Hey there everybody, Eric from Awesomeness coming at you today with another video. Now in today's video, we are going to take a look at a pair of water shoes. The shoes I have here are by the company Aleader or Aleader or Aleader. No matter what you decide to call this brand, these shoes are great. I had the opportunity to wear these on a couple of backpacking trips to good water destinations. So in this video, you're going to see these used with pretty extensive use. Now, I am going to show you a bunch of footage from both of those trips. And the main reason for me showing you the footage is a couple of things. The terrain was really cool, the locations were beautiful, we had a lot of fun, had a good time, and I got to put these to some good use. So by watching the footage, you'll see the type of terrain, the area we were at, and you'll see kind of how these were able to apply. So then from there, we're going to come back into the studio. I'll wrap up my thoughts on these Aleader water shoes, but if you're interested in seeing just a little bit more about what I'm about to talk about, do me a favor, stay tuned. So I had resisted getting a pair of Crocs for a long time, but with the given needs, I figured I'd give them a try. And so when I got them, and I bought the size that I would usually wear, you'll see here, they're just massive. I mean, they don't really fit my feet well. My feet are narrow, and the Crocs are very wide. So if you look at my foot there, I mean, these things are just totally swimming on my feet. And so that's where I thought these Aleader shoes would come into play. So you'll see here, as I slip them on, they are nice and efficient, fit my feet very well, and are extremely lightweight. So for the comparison's sake here, taking a look at the Crocs, you'll see these are 1 pound, 4.0 ounces. So not terribly heavy. But the Aleader shoes here are only 11.5 ounces. So not only do I have a better fitting pair of shoes, but they are also much lighter. So after a long day of hiking, it is going to be great to have the opportunity to take off the boots, get over to that river, and just enjoy myself. Now these Aleader shoes are extremely lightweight and made the perfect sort of backpacking option. They don't take up a huge amount of space. I mean, you know, take up some space, but I had plenty of room in my pack. But the biggest thing for me is they are very lightweight and hopefully going to be comfortable around camp. So I'm going to give these things a try and let's see how it goes. That's nice. That's nice. Coming in? It's gonna come down. Good spot there.
I like the giggle fest going on over there.
What?
I like the giggle fest going on there. Oh, is that you? That's a good idea. I forget my duty.
Alright, so I've learned a couple of things about these. They're still great, don't get me wrong, but a couple of things. So after having worn these, kind of across the way on the beachy, sandy area, gathering wood, what I found is when these have sand on them, and you know, you're coming out of the water, they're wet, it's easy to get sand to kind of stick to them. And there's all these holes and perforations, and they can take up just a little bit if you're on a sandy area. And then when you walk on the rocks, it can be slick, because obviously the sand is going to be less grippy than the shoes themselves. But as soon as you get them wet and you kick out the sand, they are reasonably grippy again, and they feel very good and secure. So when they're wet, they actually grip, and that's what I greatly like about these. It's not just a dry sole that's going to work, but this wet sole works wonderfully. Now the other thing I learned is because this has these waffles, you can get sticks stuck in here. So I'm using these all around camp. I'm walking all over the place, walking through all kinds of, you know, forested area. And the reality of the situation is these definitely get some sticks in them, but not a big deal. You know, you just pull them out, you keep moving. And then the final thing is that after using these for a few hours, just walking around, processing wood, doing all my camp chores. I mean, I've worn these the entire time since I got back from my hike, and they've been great. But I did get a bunch of debris. I'm just washing it out right now. It'll probably happen again, but it's just kind of going to be a maintenance issue and something we have to deal with. Now the good thing is this does have the neoprene around the ankle. Now I know it's getting dark and I know it's a little hard to see, and I can demonstrate this again a little bit later, but the neoprene does a fairly good job keeping debris out. It's just after such a long time, I definitely did get some. How's that for a swimming hole? Not the most convenient, but it's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking sweet.
Lots of algae. So even on this stuff with a lot of kind of algae growth and slightly uncertain wet you know, terrain walking over this, no problem. These shoes are great. The grip is excellent, and when they're not sandy, they work almost perfect. What a spot, and just incredible location. Literally walking up this little waterfall here. Awesome.
Last time I did this.
Yeah. Wow. Sick. Nice. You still didn't touch? You didn't touch?
I didn't touch.
Wow.
I'll agree with you on that. I think you made the noise. There we go. Nice reserve. This guy didn't have a turtle. Out here? Yeah, he's I like that.
Side. Side flop. Wow. Sick. Pretty cool, actually. Wow. Actual swimming there. Yeah.
That's nice.
Actual swimming pool, huh?
And then the one after.
Yeah. This is a nice spot to fish, huh?
Pretty cool. For people from Lynn, that's what it is.
Woo!
Jackpot. Every Halloween.
Woo! Chile.
Pretty cool. Just sit here for a while. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Good on the muscles, huh?
Look at that carrot over there.
Oh yeah. It's actually pretty sweet.
My eye out. That there's a raptor.
Nice. Perfect, man. Woo! Sick. Awesome. Look at that. It's kind of wild. Uh-oh, Mike's hitting a dead end road. Nice. So alright guys, there you have it. Some good quality field use footage with these Aleader water shoes. Now, I did greatly like these. I wore these very extensively in both of those trips. I had these on my feet for like 6+ hours at a time. Wet feet, continuously wet, in and out of water, different terrain, lots of different aspects that really gave these a good quality test for me. And I have to say a couple of things. One, they were definitely comfortable. Two, they had excellent grip. And three, they seem to have held up extremely well. I mean, there are some marks and they're dirty now and different things, but these held up wonderfully. I greatly enjoyed these. They're a wonderful product. They are ridiculously lightweight. So if you're into backpacking, lightweight hiking, or the camping application, even if you wore these around, you could wear them around a dock, you could wear them on a boat, you could have these in a number of different areas, different places, and different terrains, and they will work wonderfully for you. So the main thing for me is the fact that, yes, when these got a little bit sandy, they were a little bit slippery. That's the case with any footwear. I don't care what it is. But the key to me is the fact that whether they were dry or wet, they had excellent grip. So these actually were very, very grippy when wet. And that is a great thing, especially for water shoes. Now, the fact that they continually drained out was great. The fact that they were lightweight, felt nice on my feet was excellent. And the other thing that I did like, apart from the fact that these are a simple slip-on design, this neoprene collar here. So this is, I'm not going to say gaiters, but almost in that similar concept where you have this neoprene that wraps nicely around the top of your foot, wraps around your ankles, and really keeps a bunch of debris out. Now these are very lightweight mesh. You can see your feet directly through them pretty much in every direction, but even at that, my feet felt clean. That to me is a big deal, especially where I was wearing these in the mountains, wearing them in the woods, in all kinds of different areas where I had potential to get debris in my shoes. I didn't. A couple times, sure, that's to be expected. But over the longevity of my trips, only a couple of times did I actually get debris in my shoes, so that was definitely a plus. Now, a couple small details, and even right now, there are a couple of rocks stuck in here. A couple of times I'd get twigs stuck in here and different things because these are waffled on the bottom. I had one concern, and it didn't seem to pose a problem, but the idea that these holes potentially could allow sticks or debris to stick through the sole of the shoe and push up through and into my foot. That did happen one time. It didn't puncture, didn't create any problems. I noted it. I was able to dig it out, get it out of here, and really avoid any problems, and it didn't seem to really bother the shoe. So this is basically just a simple mesh that kind of keeps the bulk of debris from getting into your foot, and it definitely worked. I didn't find any problems. I didn't have any structural deficiencies, no rips, no tears, and these worked perfectly well. Now, just a couple little things worth noting. On this left foot, you will notice that there is a little bit of a wrinkle in the top of this sole. This seems to have not been glued down 100%. Now, it doesn't bother me. I don't think it's going to really pose a problem. But if there was any one thing, just that little bit didn't seem to be glued down, I think I could probably actually squeeze some glue in the bottom here and get that to kind of adhere, and it would really work perfectly fine. That's only if I'm going to be kind of nitpicky and really need to take care of this. But for the most part, these worked well. Now, when my feet were wet and really kind of taking my feet in and out of these, I did take these off my feet a couple of different times for different reasons, but what I noticed is with wet feet, the soles had just the slightest tendency to kind of want to pull out on me, and I found that I had to kind of tuck them back down into place. It wasn't the biggest deal. It didn't really bother me terribly. It only happened a couple of times, and that was really when I was only taking my feet in and out of the shoes. But other than that, the sole fits down nicely, fits perfectly into place, is comfortable on my feet, and the fact that these are so lightweight, I mean, these are just feather light, was really a bonus for a couple of reasons. First off, you do have the ability to clip these to a carabiner, which I was capable of doing. Clip these nicely to my bag. It worked out perfect. And the fact that these are just so light, to use them for the backpacking application, it was wonderful. So to have a second set of shoes with me, my ability to take off my boots, these would work even if I wasn't going in the water. But the fact that I was in a place, couple of locations where I was constantly getting my feet wet in different terrain certainly worked out extremely well. And the other thing I like, there's a ton of different colors. Now for me, I just liked a simple gray. I didn't want anything too loud. But now kind of in retrospect, I think where these are a good affordable price, they're really easy to get your hands on. You can buy them simply on Amazon. You can get them delivered fairly fast. For me, it might be worth getting a couple pairs of these, so I would at this point potentially experiment with a couple of different colors. That's just fun, gives you options, and can really tailor to your taste. For the most part, for me with my backpacks, I like to be a little bit subdued. Now when I get to camp, I also kind of like to just blend in. I don't like to be overly loud. I like things that are typically a little more muted. So gray worked out fairly well for me, but if you like a little more color, you like a little more pop, you certainly have that option as well. So when it's all said and done, I have to say I am extremely happy with these water shoes. So to the people at Aleader, whatever you call yourselves, these are great. And for all of you, I can say I definitely highly recommend them. If you are using water shoes for any reason, whether you're going to the beach, whether you're going into ponds or lakes or rivers, whether you're on a boat, or you just want a good lightweight pair of shoes that are breathable and just have a lot of mesh, no matter what your purpose, these will work extremely well for you. So all right guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.